Hello everyone and welcome to Jiffy Kaniffy. We're going to take a look at a couple of roper knives today. Now the roper knife company is made by American Buffalo Knife and Tool. And these knives are $24.99 a piece. If you're interested in these knives, you can get them in a couple places, but you can get them direct from their website at abktinc.com. And you get more info on them. Now these knives claim to be made from 1065 carbon steel, so a little different composition than some of your other knives in terms of the blade. The first one we're going to look at is the black one, and this is RP010CRB. Now I'm going to put the model numbers and the website address in the description below, but just in case you guys are curious right off the top what the model numbers are, here's the other one, RP010CRB, and it is the red bone. Now these blades are identical with the exception of the handle color, and there's a third color in green which I could not find. So good luck finding that one. If anybody knows where I can find one of those, leave a comment below because I'd like to try to buy one. I'll just say right off the top that I really like these knives. They're $24.99 a piece, so a little higher price than your typical Rough Rider Sowbelly. The finish, it's just nice. Everything is nice. Transition is nice. It's just a nice feeling knife. There's a small defect here maybe that I possibly could buff out. The other one, there's virtually nothing wrong with it. I've seen case knives look much worse than this. Now there's one small little nick. I don't know if that's from machining or if it bumped something during packaging, but that's not a... That doesn't look like a production problem. That looks like something that happened after the fact. Alright, so you've got a shield that just says Roper Knives, right? And the R is a logo that looks something like a lasso made from rope. This particular one I polished. The red one I didn't. This is straight out of the box. But you can see pretty nice right out of the box. And this is the black. It doesn't say it's bone, so I don't know what material this is. I'm assuming it's either some sort of synthetic, or perhaps it is bone and they didn't mention it. I don't know. But you got nickel silver bolsters with a stripe. On this side, no logo, but nickel silver bolsters. Again, with the pinch, much like the Rough Rider knives do, many of them. Another thing that's different from some of the other Sowbellys that I own is that this has two nail nicks at the front of the knife, and then just the one at the back. Now the blades on this knife are different than the Rough Riders as well. You have your clip blade. It's a little different shape. It doesn't have the angular top along that ridge, and there's no swedging, right? There's basically no other additional features to the blade, just the nail pole. That's it. I guess these are meant to be match strike. They're not quite as groovy as the Rough Riders are. Now on this blade, the main blade, you have an etching. It says Roper and then some number there, which I really don't know what it is that number is supposed to represent. On the back, you have more etching. It gives you the model number. And just says PRC below it. This says carbon on the blade, so it's a carbon blade. and PRC, which is People's Republic of China. Now, these are supposed to be satin finish. I'd say that's probably my main complaint. Not because I don't like satin finishes, I just don't think this particular satin finish is very well done. And I just don't think that they didn't do much with the blade itself. It's pretty pedestrian. But you can't complain with the fit and finish. Now, the other complaint I would have is that there are half stops on there, but they're super spongy. There's just not a definitive stop. I mean, it kind of just wants to be everywhere, right? Like, if you're going to have a half stop, have it stop somewhere. Now, like I said before, you got this nail pull on the front of the knife, and it's this nice spade blade. It's got a little larger body. We can compare that to this Rough Rider, and it just has a little different shape. I think it's a little larger. Now, for the third blade, let's see, it's on the back, and again, the nail pull is the only one on the back. It's a smaller clip blade, which I don't know. I don't really get that. Why you want a second clip blade? I think I'd prefer to have a sheep's foot, but there's no tank stamp on that either. Okay. So there are things that I like more about the Rough Rider, but it's hard to argue with the fit and finish. It, again, spongy, half stop. Nice snap on them though for the close, no problem there. So there you have that. Now, what would you expect at $24.99? I don't know. It's a little more than you would spend on a Rough Rider, and they've kind of set a high bar. But I would say overall average fit and finish, this might actually be better than Rough Rider for that just a little bit more money. Now, I'm just saying on average. You're going to find examples of Rough Rider knives that will beat this, and then you're going to find some that don't. So it's just sort of a roll of the dice a lot of times. But I'm happy with them. I don't think they're perfect. I think the second clip blade's a little, I don't know, not as versatile. But overall, great knife, and certainly worth $24.99. Like I said, you can pick these up. ABT, what is it? ABKT, American Buffalo Knife and Tool, ABKTinc.com. And hey, find out how much cowboy you have in you, right? How are you going to find out if you don't own one of these, right? All right, guys, that's it for me. Take care.